Hello everyone, Santier here in Great Bay. I am also known as Ben. This is Majora's Mask, and I'm joined by my sister.
Hello, that was a really interesting way to do your intro.
Gotta vary it sometimes.
I think you didn't plan what you're going to say in advance. That's Zora, by the way. It looks really funny.
Yeah.
We wanted to see if it was a dragon cloud, because the pirates were saying, not that, that's Zora. The pirates were saying that there was a dragon cloud around the temple, and I don't know what it looks like to see why they're calling it a dragon cloud.
I also like the part where, as a Zora, you shield with your fin.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
It's a big fin.
It is a very large fin. It grows when you shield with it. Ow. Also, the fact that he can detach it from his body to do it like a boomerang is kind of freaky. You know what I mean?
A little bit weird.
Like, I can't detach parts of my body to throw as a boomerang and then reattach. Oh, look, Epona's still over there. That makes sense, but it's kind of...
Yeah, why not?
That is the swamp spider house. I mean, the oceanside spider house. I just want to say swamp when I talk about that. Rare fish inside. Ooh. I feel like the only
that
place...
tile is... So does tile super scream of, like, bathroom to you?
Yes. But, I mean, it's like where the floor can get wet because it's a fish place.
Yeah.
I was just going to say really fast, I feel like the only place in this game that really cares about day-night in terms of, like, shops being open and people being in bed versus out and about is Clocktown.
Yeah.
And, like, the Swamp Tourist Agency or whatever they call that, and, like, the Fisherman's Hut and Zora Hall. And, you know, they're all, like, they're 24 hours. They're just the same. It's really Clocktown that's like everything shuts down at night.
I have some thoughts actually to say on that after we finish
talk to this
dialogue.
guy. All right. I've been catching fish in these seas for 30 years. When it comes to catching fish, I'm even better than the Zoras. That's what I'd like to be saying anyway. Lately, the seawater's gotten really warm. It hasn't helped my fishing at all. And what's worse, this water has gotten murky, so when I ship out, I always lose my way and somehow end up back at shore. We fishermen, and even the fish, are in a real predicament. Look like he's got a pin-up of a Garuda pirate. If the seas don't do something
Return to normal soon.
The Zoras and even I will be all dried up. It's very low res.
Yes.
You should examine it more closely, and he will... Well, talk to this guy first. Help me. Please take me back to the waters near Pinnacle Rock. Are you interested in that fish? It's a rare fish, isn't it? It's called a seahorse. I caught it swimming around here just off Pinnacle Rock.
If you've not seen a video of a male seahorse giving birth, because that's how seahorses work, you should, because it's crazy.
I have not seen a video of this.
Just imagine a baby shotgun.
Huh. Since it's rare, I was thinking of selling it at the town carnival, which should be starting soon. If you want, I'll give it to you. On one condition. Do you have a pictograph of a female pirate?
I do not.
What's this? I guess you don't have one after all. Technically, I do have a pictograph of a female pirate, but it's all blurry and it's not that great. So like I said, they're using the fact that it's low res, like I mentioned, probably in part because of some of the graphic limitations, but using that as an excuse for why he wants a better one.
Yeah.
The all-important face. I can't see it very well. Any good picture of a pirate will do, even a separate of a guard. Do you help me out?
Yeah, you can't really make out the face in that at all.
No, you cannot. But it's in color.
It is.
And the one you would provide would not be in color.
All right. So, yeah, time of day stuff and like what things are open and available is there's a lot of real world, realness about doing stuff with that. The problem that you run into is you start making the game way more inconvenient to play.
Yeah, because like half of the game time you can't do anything.
Right. So you have to, like, if there's, in a game like this especially, that's going to be bad. But you have to be doing something with it. You can't just put it in a game. There has to be some purpose, some value, some reason to it.
And And it makes sense in town because then you do things like the Curiosity Shop or the Rosa Sisters or like secret meetings with Anju or like there are still things you can do at night.
And the thing is, a lot of those
and
services
Playground's probably
that
still
you
open,
actually
too.
need are available.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like
the trading post
the
is
trading
open.
post is just open all the time. The bomb shop is just open all the time. So it's things like the inn. Link doesn't use the inn.
Yeah, he's in his sleep.
So that's not open, but like it also doesn't matter that it's not open because you're not going to do anything.
And you can still get into it anyway if you needed to.
Yeah, you can still
for
get
the inn.
inside if you need to.
You don't need to go to like the mayor's house at night, so it's fine that that's closed. And if you need to go to the inn, you actually can sneak in, so it's fine too.
Yeah. So anything that you actually like, it's all the only things that are locked are things that are side quest stuff, not things that you actually need to do.
Yeah.
And because otherwise, like if stuff was closed, that would be so inconvenient for like the routing and timing.
It would be so annoying to play the game, yeah. Halt! The boat patrols, if you have a map that you want to go and buy from Tingle right now, you can see the boat patrols on the map.
That'd be a good use
And
of my resources.
there are a bunch of them all in a row, and then there's like a blank space, so there's none.
Yeah, I thought that I was in the blank space, but apparently not.
Yeah. So let's buy that map. Tingle, tingle, Kulu, Lipa.
Not a bad idea.
We want to buy it at some point anyway, right?
We do.
We just forgot about it.
Indeed.
I can still hear your horse whinnying. It's like the cows mooing, where the sound carries really far.
Ha! Success.
Yes. You can play it in Japanese. Go you. Nope, that's too far. He's really high up there, actually.
He is.
All to get a better map, I guess. Bird's eye view and all that.
Cool limp of that.
Yep. But yeah, this is the level in Super Smash Bros. Melee, etc.
But I've designed a game where I had time of day stuff, and I think you can do some of it. You can do time of day things. I mean, Pokemon has a bunch as well. But you have to be really thoughtful about how you're applying it, and you have to do it in a way that is interesting and not just inconvenient.
Yeah, and also, like, for example, if it was a game where you could, like, you know, like, play the sun song, and now it's daytime versus nighttime.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, time limit. I feel like here's 3 days. So, like, imagine if it was, like, the night of day 2, and you needed it to be daytime, so you made it day 3, but then you don't have enough time to get things finished because of that. Right? Like, that would be awful. But, so if it's a situation where...
I'm going to overpay for the other map.
Oh, okay. Just want to get it done with, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to forget it.
Where is he in? I don't even know where he is in. Oh no, he's near where the ferry is, isn't? Or I remember the ferry, by which I mean the owl statue where their ferry is.
He's generally near the owl statue, actually. 'Cause he's by this house.
That's what I was saying. Is that he's by the owl statue. He's not like the owl statue in Southern Swamp, because he's before the owl statue.
That's true.
He's like before you enter the swamp proper, really. But he's often nearish the owl statues, I think.
I like that you can put stuff that you can't use in your current form on the bar as well.
But yeah, so like I think the day-night thing, if you're able to change time to make it day or night, whichever you need, and there isn't a time limit,
Yeah.
where like that means you're running out of days.
You can make it work.
Yeah. And I think it works in Clocktown for what they are doing of like people have schedules and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Romani Ranch, you have to do something at a certain day, or like the Romani Ranch closes at like 8 p.m. too, so they've got some of the like closed at night. I think it works for those, but like you say, for things where it's not a side quest, but like I'm beating the dungeon and I need to be able to talk to Lulu at Zora Hall whenever I finish the Pirate's Fortress and I got all the eggs and I got Nue Bossa Nova and I'm able to like start. So yes, you can see their patrol and they have this big empty block. But where you can see that, you know, I got all those mini dungeons done and now I'm ready to start the main dungeon and it's night of the first day, night of the second day, you know, whatever. And I need to start it. I don't want Lulu to be in bed sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just one of those things where there's stuff that can sound like the idea of NPCs having a schedule sounds really cool. Until you actually start playing with it. And until it's like, oh, this is really inconvenient. It's like, oh, okay. And so either you have a system that allows you to be able to change time of day, which invalidates the whole point of the mechanic in the first place. So why are you including it?
Not completely invalidated, because it does mean you have two different modes, day mode and night mode.
I mean...
But it's partially invalidated, yes.
Like, it's largely invalidated.
Uh-huh.
As a mechanic.
So either you do that or...
And completely invalidate the mechanic, or you just... It exists, and it's something that can become extremely inconvenient to the player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like it's the kind of thing where it's a cool idea, but you have to make sure your cool ideas don't get in the way of the actual gameplay.
Yeah, and that's where, again, like, if you are doing it, you need to make it be something where it is, like, a part of what you're doing with the game.
Rather than getting in the way of the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they find a good balance here. I think of
I agree. It works really well here.
Uh-huh.
But that's why, like, you don't want to have any of the, I'm trying to get stuff done in one of these side areas.
Yeah. So that's why the tourist shop is open, because you need to be able to do Kume's cruise at any time, whenever, you're able to, right? Like, if you, okay, you're ready to do the cruise. I think he wants full body a little bit, but he doesn't want the face also. Hopefully that's good enough. We can always come back, I guess, if it's not, right? So it's funny, you might be invisible, but is your fairy invisible? Or do they just think a fairy's wandering around? I mean, now she's hidden, I guess. Isn't that interesting? I don't know what triggers that, where sometimes she just hides inside of you or something. Like she's hiding inside of your hat or something, I don't know. Kind of odd.
This is the part where I don't know where I actually need to go, but that's okay.
Well, we did this part already. This is Avail's main audience chamber. Wonder if she's still hiding from the bees, or if she's returned.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I feel like she just disappears, and then never returns. I've never gone in there before doing, like, whenever we've done it, we've always gone and taken care of the bee, done the bee thing to make her evacuate. So I don't know if you go in her chamber first, like with the mask, like if you're doing this with the stone mask already,
right.
If you can like go in that chamber while she's in there. That'd be interesting. Like, does she spot you regardless of the mask, or does she not see you, or can you hang out in that room? That'd be interesting. Can you actually have the cutscene happen while you're in the actual room instead of upper area? We aren't fooled by that mask. She's got yellow lipstick on.
What does that say?
The pirate found you. Use integrity and look for your chance. You're caught if you don't win. Do you like the idea of yellow lipstick? Also, this sword rocks.
Yeah, it does.
Don't think it ends here. Yeah.
This is another thing that's a really interesting challenge, is upgrading items. Like, anytime you're giving the player more power, are you upgrading enemies to compensate?
Uh-huh.
Because otherwise you can make things really weak, but if you're doing that, then you make the player's new toy effectively weak, and if they don't get it, then they're substantially weaker.
Yeah. Especially if it's an optional upgrade. Like, there's definitely the issue of, like, balancing the game for as they go along, it should be getting harder. But then also, like, the idea of, like, the Pokemon are higher levels, in that area or something, right? But then the idea of, like, if it's an optional upgrade, like the sword is, how much harder should you be making it?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, it's actually kind of a tricky question to answer. Mm-hmm. Like, how you want to handle that. Because if you do compensate for increased player power, then you're kind of expecting everyone to get increased player power. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if you don't compensate for it, then are you making the game too easy for the people who do get it? And at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, what's the point of the upgrade?
And also, there's also the question of, like, if there's any degree of backtracking or doing the game out of order that would mess things up if you increased power or in different ways, right? Like,
yeah. What order are things being done in?
Like, I remember in Breath of the Wild, for example, like, because in Breath of the Wild, you can do any of the 4 dungeons in whatever order you want. So they obviously can't, like, make it more and more difficult because they don't know what order you're doing it. But I remember, like...
I mean, you can, but that's where you're like, okay, how many have you defeated? Your power scales based on that. Yeah,
I mean, you could do it that way, rather than having it be inherent to that version of phantom gan, whatever they called them, aspect of
blights.
Blight, that's it. Whichever blight it is. Instead of is it a piece of heart?
I don't know.
Aww. Oh wow, you got 40 rupees out of it or something.
Cool.
But they didn't even notice you opening the treasure chest. That's so funny. Oh, they have pipes in the ceiling. But like you could make it be whichever one you do third, rather than this particular one is the one that you're supposed to do third. That's as far as you go.
Oh, this one's purple.
Yeah, but her eyeshadow is still yellow. Do you think you can trick us with that mask? Like what makes these ones different, you know, than the others that they can see them? Also, what did they say if you're not wearing the mask? I wonder.
I don't know.
Maybe you should experiment, huh?
Yeah.
Ugh, not bad, but don't think it ends here. But what was I gonna say with? Oh yeah. I was saying that the bad guys. Oh yeah, I remember. But one thing that definitely happened in that game is when you first encountered the. I can't remember what they're called. The big machines that shoot lasers at you.
Guardians?
Guardians, thank you. It's been a while since I played this game, okay? When you first encountered the Guardians Breath of the Wild, it's like, this is impossible. And by the end, you're like, I can kill them with my eyes closed in 2 seconds with some you know, like, you had, and that was a matter of practice and experience, and, you know, that you...
I was parrying their laser blasts on sound cues.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, it went from, this is terrifying, there's no way to beat this thing, I have to just run away if I encounter Guardian 2, I can kill it based on sound cues, this is no issue at all. And that's not a matter of it got harder or easier, it's a matter of your skill level changed.
To an extent, yeah. Like, there's a certain amount of, like, you've gotten more armor and more hearts and more powerful weapons that lets you, like, fight them in other ways as well.
Yeah,
but parrying them is just straight up a skill thing.
Yeah.
I actually really like Guardians as enemies in that game. They're a nice spot of, like, dangerous and not like they're tanky but not too tanky. One of the things that I can find really frustrating in games is when enemies are, where do I even want to go here? When enemies are super...
Look for doors, I guess. Hard when it's dark out, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but...
Because it's really dark for us, that's why. Like, normal dark, it wouldn't be much of a problem, but for us, dark is very dark. Because of how saturated this is. Again, it's probably be fixed for you, but for us watching it, it's overly dark, so...
Yeah, definitely.
That's one aspect of the day-night cycle as well.
Area, right?
Yes. That's one aspect of the day-night cycle to keep in mind also, is that it's darker at night, and is that going to affect things?
Yeah. But yeah, so like finding the right balance of how fragile enemies are and things like that is really tricky.
That was the exit.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Can you see doors on your thing there? No, they're treasure chests, aren't they? What are those yellow things? Those are treasure chests?
Yeah, those are treasure chests. There's also... Okay, that looks like an exit.
I think that might have been where you enter if you don't use the shortcut.
That could be as well, yeah. What's this over here?
Yeah, so finding that balance where the Guardians got easier partially because you had more armor, but also partially just because your skill level increased. Yeah. Where if you like went to the beginning of the game and started playing it again from the beginning, you could defeat them much more easily than you did when you first played the game because you do still have that skill level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that you see when people are speedrunning it, for example.
Is they have that skill level, yeah.
And they can do those. Because, like, you also have a couple of different...
Ooh, tanks.
Tiers of Guardians.
Tanks.
You have the,
What, cannons, that's what I meant to say. I said tanks, I meant cannons.
You have the... This would actually be useful for getting the heart piece in Deku Palace too, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if it does anything, actually. Halt! Ooh, green. We aren't fooled by that mask.
But you have the ones that have 500 HP, which is... They can be one-shot with a deflection.
The Guardians?
Yeah, the ones that are just turrets. The ones that are running around have 1500.
Just turrets, okay. Don't think it ends here. Is that a Deku net that she's throwing? Is that like
Probably.
the effect of a Deku net? The white flash of
They
like...
do say that you should close your eyes before using one. So.
Oh, okay. I've never read the flavor text, apparently. You can't use the hookshot now. You have problems with the order of events here, don't you?
I do.
Ah, poor Ben. There's a lot of it's not as bad as the iron boots, but there's a lot of complicated going back and forth that has to happen. That's why you said that the randomizers will put the transformation mask on the D-pad, right? Which frees up space, which sounds very nice, I'm sure.
Yeah, being able to just hit like D left or whatever to use one of the transformation masks, and then having the ocarina on one of them as well is very convenient.
Aw, too bad it wasn't magic. Hearts are good too. We'll take hearts. Magic sounds more important. You don't want to put on your mask again?
I'm gonna warp out. I just want to see where this
That's
dropped
true.
me off.
Somewhere very convenient. Like, I don't know why you'd want this entrance. Maybe it's supposed to be like more of a window or something, like a balcony almost.
I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I can find a lot of times in games, enemies either are like too insubstantial or they're like super tanky, and like the worst spot to be in my opinion, is where neither of you deal much damage. So it's just like, I have to kill this thing and it's going to take me for friggin' ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst spot to be in. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I like games like this, I suppose, where it's not just about fighting the enemies, but also about some degree of like puzzles and
sure, yeah,
exploration or whatever and stuff like that too. I like this song.
it's a good one.
Why not? That was weirdly picky.
Yeah, it was.
Also, I feel like the size of those eggs is bigger than the, like, bars. Like, where they shouldn't fit. Like, if you look, it's, like, wider around than the space between the bars is.
Yeah, but they also fit in the bottles as the Deku Princess, so
That's
I'm not
true.
too worried about it.
I mean, they have weird things going on. No, I don't mean the size. I mean, the opposite of the bottle is too small for it, but I meant the size between the bars as well.
Yes, no.
They must be
I know what you
squishy,
mean.
which does not feel like what something an egg would be. But I'm not an expert on fish eggs.
I think fish eggs are a little...
I've probably
squishy.
eaten caviar like once and it was gross. This is a problem. Zora eggs don't hatch unless all eggs that were laid together at the same time are brought together. What are those Zoras doing?
Man, Zora biology is weird.
Oh, they've got tails on their heads. Like, what's the purpose of that? Does that help you swim somehow better? I feel like that would get in your way. Notice me, Cow doesn't have a giant tail on his head. He's got like a thing that mimics your hat, but he doesn't have a giant tail.
Yeah.
See? Like and they can detach their fins apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of weird things. By the way, I do appreciate that the beavers or someone was commenting on that you put clothes on when you hadn't been doing that before.
What now?
Oh, the beavers were like, do you think you're going to be disguised by wearing a green kilt or whatever you're doing? I can still know you're Mikau. I appreciate that. If you're a Zora, does he still treat with you? Or is he not like you if you're a Zora? I'm kind of curious. Is it exactly the same? Well, if it isn't a Zora, how have things been going lately? Har har. Could you be coming to see me because you can't catch any fish? It's not good out there. Lately I've been coming back empty-handed myself. Why, I was almost hoping you were coming to share with me. That's fun. It's fun seeing the different reactions.
For sure.
All right. If the seas don't return to normal soon, the Zoras and even I will be all dried up. Talk to the fish. Help me. Please take me back to the waters near Pinnacle Rock. If you want that seahorse, bring me a pictograph of a female pirate.
How's this one?
Let's see if he likes it. Oh, that's it. I had a picture like that. Well, aren't you a crafty one? You'll give that to me, won't you? In exchange, I'll give you this. Good thing you had an empty bottle. What if you didn't have an empty bottle? What would happen?
You would have not have gotten this far because you needed to get
I mean, like,
a Deku Princess.
I'm saying if you had bottles full of milk or something, or fairies.
It would probably be like, oh, but you don't have an empty bottle or something.
Okay, I was gonna say you had a bottle, just not an empty bottle. Thank you. Hurry, take me back to the waters near Pinnacle Rock.
Is Pinnacle Rock a location that shows up in other Zelda games, or am I thinking of Spectacle Rock?
Probably something else. I don't know that Pinnacle Rock shows up anywhere else. And you can kind of see it over there. There's 2 tall pinnacles.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the other part of Pinnacle Rock that's behind it that you have to have this fish guide you to. I still don't see the dragon cloud, though. Maybe daytime would help with seeing the dragon cloud. But I'm not sure how dragony it is.
Yeah.
Maybe, so their idea of a dragon is probably more of the Eastern idea where it's like a snake shape rather than a lizard shape.
That could be.
And so maybe they're talking about like it's kind of a sinuous cloud. Like
I'm feeling
it's
a bit low
circle.
on magic at the moment.
I wonder why. I feel like you're low on magic too.
It'll be okay.
Hopefully. I don't. Well, no, you do need to use magic to kill the sea eels or sea serpents or whatever, so. Pinnacle Rock ahead. Beware murky water and sea snakes. There's also a Zora somewhere around here that you can talk to. Here, we had to do this. Pinnacle Rock. Oh, this is probably where the Zora is, if you were staying on the surface. And he says, you need to have a seahorse to help guide you through this area. It's not that important if you were trying to talk to him.
Well,
He's somewhere. I think he, like, appears in a bubble. I don't know where he is. Anywho.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I just know there's someone around that area. Why don't we see the other Zora on the ground like this, underwater? Why is Mikhail the only one doing this?
I don't know.
Sea snakes lair ahead due to the murky water. Caution is advised for all who enter.
You know, as if the sea snakes weren't reason enough. Straight also from Mario. Wow, that thing's big.
It is very big. That's a giant seahorse. You have strange powers, Link. I have a request for you. Please follow me. The request is not to follow me. The request is follow me and then I will tell you my request. So why do we need to have the seahorse? Can't we just follow the signs?
I don't think the signs are truthful.
But we're following them right now.
I'm following the seahorse.
But now things are going different. A little bit, sort of. I feel like the signs are working. I don't know. I feel like you're following the signs.
They're definitely a landmark.
Yeah. I feel like that was perfectly doable by following signs, not seahorses. Here in the depths of Pinnacle Rock live many dangerous sea snakes. My friend is trapped here. Friend. Link, can you please find a way to rid the area of all the sea snakes and help my friend? This is the actual request, not follow me. Alright, let's use our minimal magical powers to kill sea snakes. Hopefully there are some bottles or something that have a magic power. Wow, that's bad audio. It was very...
Yeah, it gets real crunchy sometimes.
Hello, sea snake. Wow, that really... The audio does not like that, sea snake.
No, it does not.
Alright, we found an egg. What is making that weird noise, by the way? It sounds like a bird.
The loon noise?
Yes, the loon. That's what a loon sounds like.
I think so.
Oh, really? I think of loons as being very Canadian.
Well, yes.
They're really cool. They're like cool looking ducks. But that's what loons sound like. Okay.
I think so.
It doesn't sound like a noise you hear underwater. Is what I agree. It sounds like a noise you hear by water, but not underwater. Does that make sense?
Completely. Yeah, I will not disagree with that.
So it's weird hearing it not sounding blurred by water noise.
Yeah, it is.
Because I feel like it should be just like the bells when we were getting for sunset. The bells were like distorted by being underwater. That was in the last episode with the beavers. I feel like this sound of the loon or whatever should be distorted. Also, do loons live in salt water? Surely they live in lakes and fresh water in Canada. And maybe
they're kind of freaky.
And maybe Minnesota. Yeah, I mean they are a thing. Ooh, I bet it'll be money you can't spend.
Probably.
I can console myself with the fact that the chests all regenerate when you go back in time, and so you could always go back and get this money again. So you didn't like waste the money because it's
It's infinite.
It's infinite, yeah. And
You know what that makes me think of, actually, is in Dark Souls 2, the enemies have limited spawn counts unless you're using a covenant that lets you have infinite spawn counts. I know about the make the game harder covenant. But
in theory, though, they have limited.
in theory, they have limited spawn counts.
Interesting.
And so I knew somebody who played it who actually, like, that made every single, like, time you lose your bloodstain, you can't get all of your souls back, feel a lot worse. Because, like, oh, but these enemies have limited, like, there's a limited number of souls in the game.
Yeah.
And he felt very uncomfortable because of that.
Interesting, yeah. But another side effect, though, of that is that I remember where some of the chests are and what some of the things are in the chests in this game way more than like an Ocarina of Time. Because in Ocarina of Time, it's one and done. Like, you open the chest, you never return to it. Whereas, like, you know where chests are in that game because you've been watching the randomizers. So everyone goes to all these chests because you might find randomly a hook shot in a whatever chest, right?
Let's just say a lot of the hidden grotto chests become a lot more interesting in randomizer than they are normally.
But in Majora's Mask, it's like, oh, I collect 200 rupees in Clocktown, in East Clocktown. And, you know, I get the one that's on top of the shops, and I get the one that's in the bomber's hideout, right? Boom, boom. Like, I know where those chests are. I know what's in them because you do it over and over. Like, that's the easiest way to get money is, like, you just go to East Clocktown and get 100 rupees, bang, right? Or if you want something really big, you can get the other 100 that's in the bomber's hideout there too. So, like, I know where that chest is. I know what's in it because you can revisit it and redo it, so it sticks in your mind because you do it multiple times instead of just like you do it once and never go back
How
there.
am I finding everywhere that doesn't have eggs?
I don't know. You're just lucky that way.
Yes, lucky.
How many are there? 6 sea serpents that we're seeing on the map? There's actually quite a bit of stuff in this area. Just like you got the Pirate's Fortress, you've got the Beaver area, you've got Pinnacle Rock. Just a lot of them feel like they're tied to like a mini game or a dungeon, not just like a place you go to.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's kind of like not a lot, but there actually is quite a bit here. Wow, you really are finding everything except the eggs. Well, I mean, how many? Is there just one or two? How many? Do you 2 eggs or 1 egg? 2 eggs? There's supposed to be 3. You have only 1. So I'm guessing the last 2 are going to have eggs in them. So there should be 3 eggs. We're supposed to be clearing all the sea serpents out, I think. We're destroying this entire population.
Yeah, but who wants a population of freaky sea monsters?
Well, maybe they keep the control of fish. Just like, mosquitoes are providing food for birds or something.
Mosquitoes are replaceable.
Mosquitoes don't need to exist.
They are super replaceable in the ecosystem, as far as I am concerned.
Yeah, or midges. You were worried when all the midges died off when we had a lot of snow that it would be bad for birds or something that eat them. Hello? Sea serpent, are you home? I'm perplexed.
You can see my quandary.
Maybe here?
You
sure you only have 1 and not 2? Ah! We found a guy. Wow, that audio is bad.
I have no idea why the audio is so crunchy.
It just must be really loud or something. Okay, well, they gave you the noise of, like, you accomplished something. So I think you must have 2 of them, and this is your 3rd one. Yay! We have all of our eggs.
No, we don't.
Oh, we don't. Wait, why do they act like we have all of our eggs?
We killed one that opened up an egg.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the noise for you got all of them. It was just the noise for you got another one. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
You got 1, not
Well, our last one that we haven't gotten yet should have both the egg and the reason why the fish is in favor, the other seahorse.
Let's see, I've been in here.
Apparently.
Part of what's tricky is they have these stacked up.
Yeah, so it's the verticality is not showing up on the map.
Yeah.
Okay, not that. It's 4:30 in the morning.
And my brain immediately starts playing Amish Paradise.
What's that got to do with 4:30?
It's 4:30 in the morning and I'm milking cows.
Oh, okay. I have not listened to that song overly much.
I think it's 4:30.
Probably.
It's something 30 in the morning. No, it's just at that one.
Are there 6 of them, or are there? Because the map shows that there's 6.
Goodness, there's more than that.
Okay, I was gonna say the map shows 6, but it also is not showing the verticality.
There's like a dozen.
Okay. It felt like more than 6 when you were doing it, but it's hard to keep track. Because as you say, they're like on all these different levels and layers. It's probably the one that's like the highest up, and you just missed it when you were going down or something.
I don't think there's anything else up there.
Right, the other one that's across from
a-
you. Yep, there it is. I told you it was the one that's highest up. So you were going down, and so you missed the like highest up one. And now I believe that
Doesn't even deal any damage. It just looks scary as all get out.
the eggs randomly placed in whichever ones. It's not like always the same 3, right?
I don't actually know the answer to that question.
Oh, okay. I thought one of them was green. They look the same color. Okay. I guess they're the same color after all.
What I tell you.
I could have sworn one of them was green and one was yellow.
I'll talk to you all in a second.
Yep. So in theory, you could just grab the 3 eggs and leave, or you can kill all of them and then have this happen. Thank you, Link. This is a symbol of my deepest gratitude. That's why I was saying friends, because they seem a little closer than friends.
Yeah.
I guess they're friends and, right? This is like Honey and Darling, but fish. They have the same heart thing going on.
Yep.
All right.
They do.
Very cute. Very sweet.
I can't play underwater ocarina.
I was going to question that. I don't know if teleporting is worth it when you're just
The moon.
going to be at Pinnacle Rock. Whee!
What's this way?
The Great Wide Ocean.
What stops me from swimming off this way?
Good question. It gets too murky and sends you back to where you came from, I think. Let's find out. Yep, just took you back to where you started. With no explanation. You think Tattle would say, oh, it was too murky over there or something, but nope. Just there's the guy that tells you about Pinnacle Rock. I knew he was somewhere around here. Mikau, haven't you seen any gold-colored fish around here? Gold-colored fish know this area very well. I was thinking of getting one to guide me to Pinnacle Rock. If the water wasn't so murky, I wouldn't have to rely on the guidance of a gold-colored fish. By the way,
I wonder if it's easier to swim after you've beaten the temple.
I don't know. Like, you think it's less murky? We could try looking at Pinnacle Rock. I don't know if they actually do that, but it would be cool. Oh, there's distorted, see?
Yep.
Do you think that wakes up everyone in Clocktown at 5:30?
Maybe?
We don't really live in a town that has church bells or whatever at all hours of the day. I imagine you get used to it if you live there.
I feel like you'd have to.
Yeah. More of a European thing, I think, to have that, probably.
I think that's probably true.
Which, we've been to Europe. I don't remember it being an issue. They probably don't spread or carry as far as this one does.
Probably not. This is very impressive distance.
Yeah. But to be fair, I mean, technically Terminus is not huge, is it? All right. To play the song from the cutscenes, you need to have the ocarina equipped on your C stick there.
I have no idea.
don't
Probably not.
I don't think you do.
You think the cutscene will play at small size?
I hope not, but we'll find out, I guess, because this sure is. I think it's still kind of small, isn't it?
It is.
Good. All of the eggs have been brought together. It's going to start. Quick. Come to the front of the aquarium. It's still at small size. Maybe you should wait 15 minutes to come to the front of the aquarium. You want to speed up time? We'll just give it 10 more minutes here to the dawn of the second day, so we don't have small. It got even smaller. Okay, what is the reason for doing this?
It's dramatic.
It is, but it's really weird. I don't feel like it's always consistent either. I don't know. I guess it's just when it going into day and not into night, right?
They definitely have a different thing, yeah.
Because they always do this for... Well, I guess no, they don't always. I guess when you're in battle, they wouldn't do that, right? Anyway, all right, we have full screen again. You didn't realize how small that got until we see the full screen.
Yeah.
Good. All of the eggs have been brought together. Quick. You didn't let me read the whole
Come
thing.
to the front of the aquarium.
Come to the front of the aquarium.
It's the same thing you said previously.
Oh, okay. Now, apparently in Japanese, the word for tadpole and the word for music note is the same. So this is a pun.
It's probably the same reason they have the tad tones in Skyward Sword.
Probably. I don't know what you're talking about, but probably. Look at this! What does this mean? What in the world could this mean? But yeah, so this is a pun on tadpoles and music notes. I've got it! Don't you understand? The way these Zora children have lined up, it means...
Yes?
Don't you see what kind of instrument? Wow, he really did not finish that. Ah, okay, there we go. Play it with A and C.
I beg to differ. There is no A in this song.
Okay, play it with C stick. New Wave Bossa Nova. You can't see me dancing in my chair.
I mean, any music is happening. Of course you're dancing.
I don't know enough about bossa novas to say if this is a bossa nova.
I don't either.
Like, we don't know enough about like a bolero or a minuet or whatever to say if,
But you know it's the new wave because they're waving and they're new.
Ah, you learned the new wave of bossa nova. Not the old wave, but the new wave. It's the melody taught by the Zora children that invigorates singing voices. Okay, so if anyone needs to invigorate their singing voice, then just sing the song, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, it's that instrument. If these Zoras were born to teach the song, then hurry. I like how his hands are so like, hurry, hurry, hurry. I'm doing it too as I'm trying to do his voice. Oh no, this is bad.
Oh yeah, you mirror NPCs a lot.
I know. You need a camera on me or something, huh? I know. I do a lot of gesturing, and when I'm doing my horrible acting skills here, I've been doing a lot of gesturing as part of it, too. You must play this song for the Zora who laid these eggs. You've been watching me in the corner of your eye doing this, huh? This whole time you've been staring at me. That's funny. I will take good care of the Zora children. You go find the Zora who laid these eggs, quickly.
Well, that sounds like a job for next time.
Yes, it's for
So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here, everyone. Thank you all very much for watching. Until then, take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.